Before releasing his major debut, Cole World, The Sideline Story, J. Cole had 3 mixtapes that had gained traction and made him have a fan base. Cole World, The Sideline Story was born out of J. Cole signing to Def Jam and Jay-Z, Roc Nation. Actually, he might not have signed to Def Jam. It might have just been Roc Nation. My bad. But he signed to Roc Nation, and he wanted to release an album. And they kept delaying it, telling him no, so he made a bunch of hit songs. Workout was largely successful, which led to them finally saying, yeah, go ahead and release your album. Nonetheless, because of the fact that he was trying to make hit songs, Cole World, The Sideline Story, his first album, contained a lot of hit songs. During this period in his life, J. Cole was really just trying to survive as a musician, trying to come up. He had 3 very successful mixtapes. People were comparing him to Nas. He was performing a lot, and he was trying to make an album that a lot of people would like. And it worked for the most part, but especially when you go forward and look at his second and third album, Born Sinner and 2014 Forest Hills Drive, a lot of people actually consider Cole World, The Sideline Story to be subpar compared to the first 3 mixtapes and the second and third album. The second album, Born Sinner, was released in 2013, which was 2 years after Cole World, The Sideline Story. Born Sinner, of course, had a hit on it, Power Trip, but in Born Sinner, he became a lot more focused on talking about the what ifs and what could have beens of his first album and his life altogether. He felt like he kind of sold his soul to someone that was going to not appreciate his music the way that he wanted his music to be appreciated and wanted his music to be heard. That led to the song Born Sinner, title track off the album, where he literally says, I'm holding onto a cliff, please don't let me fall, I feel like this music game and I are kind of facing a drift, basically. I didn't just quote that entirely. I'm just saying basically what he says. I haven't heard the song in a while, but he's talking about how he feels like they're not in the same relationship that they used to be, him and music, because he basically bowed down and made all these hit songs just to release an album. Born Sinner also sees J. Cole discuss his chains and his outfits from when he got famous. He's taken them off because he does not feel the need to have them, because he feels that they make him fake. He's talking about how he hasn't fixed a gap in his teeth because he doesn't need to be perfect. It doesn't matter how much money he has. And there's a song on there called Let Nas Down, which the remix is phenomenal. And it's where he talks about how Nas did not like the song Workout, which was the single off of his first album. Really, between the first and the second album, J. Cole was just working on the second album. And he was really thinking about where he wanted to go and what he wanted his career to be. Not much more else than that, really. He was just trying to find happiness because he loved making music, and the first album didn't really make him happy. 2014 Forest Hills Drive would release, obviously, in 2014, the next year. This album, he actually gained quite a bit of freedom on. He did not have any features, and a lot of the production was handled by himself, as well as his Dreamville group, which at this point they were just starting out. I don't even know if they were an actual group, like everyone was signed. I don't believe so. I believe they signed after, but I could be wrong. I think I am wrong, actually. But he had formed Dreamville. He was trying to find all these artists, musicians that were good, that he could sign, and he was really just making an album that was free flow, at his own pace, what he liked to do, and that he enjoyed, because he had hit such career highs that it really did not matter what he did want to do and what he didn't want to do. He had the freedom, which actually is pretty cool, because in Let Nas Down, Nas literally says, them first album freedoms, their fourth album pressures. It seems to be the reverse for J. Cole. His fourth studio album in 2016, For Your Eyes Only, was named after the James Bond film and novel because it was something that he wanted to be considered classic, quote unquote. For Your Eyes Only tells a story of a daughter receiving a CD from her father, who was a rapper who died due to drug-related violence. Didn't want her to get into the same lifestyle that he had lived. And there's also tracks showing him falling in love with the wife and the daughter. For Your Eyes Only is a phenomenal album, though I did not like it upon my first listen. I really appreciate it now. 2018, J. Cole would return with KOD. I should note that between 2016 and 2018, there wasn't much really said about For Your Eyes Only. For Your Eyes Only really was one of those things that J. Cole just dropped out of nowhere. He hadn't really been too active or doing much. He did release 2 tracks prior to called High for Hours and False Presidents. 3 actually, Everybody Dies was another one. And across those songs, J. Cole comes to terms with the fact that everybody dies. He talks about politics very slightly, and he also discusses Kanye West being somewhat of a fraud. Again, J. Cole would really not do much leading up to 2018's KOD. KOD was an album that had 3 meanings: King Overdose, Kids on Drugs, and Kill Our Demons. KOD was very much an anthem for people addicted to drugs, especially in the rap community. It is sad but true that Mac Miller died the same year that KOD came out. I'm starting to realize this far into the video that J. Cole is kind of a bad candidate for histography because we really don't know much about what he's doing in his life between the albums. He prefers the privacy. But I do know that when he was in the process of making KOD, which he recorded in 2 weeks, he was inspired by Kendrick Lamar's Damn and the tour that followed for Damn because he wanted to go back to his roots, from 2014 Forest Hills Drive and make something that was more commercial friendly and would appeal to a lot of people so he could perform tours in a similar fashion. The year after KOD came out, he released Revenge of the Dreamers 3, which is a compilation album between him and the signees of Dreamville, including Earth Gang, JID, Ari Lennox, Omen, Loot, Boz, and I feel like I'm forgetting someone, Kaz. If I am forgetting someone, I apologize. Revenge of the Dreamers 3 was another cool thing because they recorded that album also in a period of 2 weeks and they just sent invites out to a bunch of people. Revenge of the Dreamers 3 really only features J. Cole on songs that have features from other artists, I believe all except for Middle Child. Middle Child was a single release in January of 2019. Other than that, J. Cole's just featured on songs with several other artists, but it is worth noting that he reveals that he is having a kid, much like he did in For Your Eyes Only, on the song, it's right on the tip of my tongue, Sacrifices. And now that I'm thinking of it, this is part of the reason why I couldn't think of that song title. I don't know for sure if he actually revealed that he was having a kid in For Your Eyes Only, or if he revealed that he was having a kid shortly thereafter. I can't recall entirely, but that's how J. Cole tends to do his personal life revelations, is by revealing them through songs. And you know, it's hard to kind of pinpoint if he's being truthful, or not even so much if he's being truthful, but for how long that's been a thing. How long have you had a kid type of deal. J. Cole would return in 2021 with the Off Season, which he claims was something that he had been working on for 2 years. Honestly, to me, based off of the pictures that Boz posted in the studio and how Boz is on a handful of tracks, it seems to me like it was something that, yeah, he probably was working on for 2 years, but he just had to finish the songs real quick because a lot of the songs seem like they, you know, I'm not trying to diss or give my opinion on albums here, but the Off Season, what was going on in J. Cole's life preceding the Off Season is J. Cole had done a feature run in 2018 and 2019. He had said that he was not going to do any more features following a feature with Joey Badass in 2017, and he didn't for a while. The Off Season was the first album since 2014 Forest Hills Drive. I did this in the Eminem one too. Since Born Sinner, where he actually had features on the album which were not confirmed or released beforehand, which was a really cool experience with this album. That was probably my favorite aspect of the album, was that I was not listening to track 3 expecting 21 Savage to be in it. He just appeared, and same with Lil Baby. My only thing that I wish there would have been more of is features that were uncredited that you did not see coming. An Eminem feature and a J. Cole feature would be badass. I'm totally campaigning for that to happen in the future. J. Cole has revealed that he is working on some more albums. The Off Season was largely because he wanted to take a break and step back and approach it from a different viewpoint, not be so tired and uncommitted to his music. That is what he has said about the Off Season. So with that being said, the Off Season is the first album that J. Cole's really opened up about and told you why he made it, which is really the closest thing we have to what was going on in his life at that point in time. Except for since Born Sinner. But 2014 Forest Hills Drives and For Your Eyes Only and KOD, those 3, it's somewhat lackluster as to what was going on in his life at that time. Just kind of the inspiration and what pushed him to make the albums. But he has revealed that he has the intention to retire with an album called The Fall Off, which I get The Fall Off and the Off Season confused. The Fall Off is supposed to be his last album, but he has also teased that he is going to release an album preceding The Fall Off called It's a Boy. It's a Boy sounds strongly familiar to For Your Eyes Only in a sense. I would love to see another concept album done to that degree. I guess we'll have to wait and see, though. I could also see him pulling some Jay-Z, the Black Album type of material out, where he raps about his upbringing, his mom, and what she thought about the news that she was expecting a boy, what she thinks about him today, type of stuff. The Fall Off. As much as I love J. Cole, I hate to say this, but really hope he sticks to his gut and he makes this his final album, only doing features after, if even that, because a lot of artists will say this is my final album and then they'll come back. But I'm looking forward to what he does next, and I'm looking forward to you guys seeing part 4 with Mac Miller. Thank you guys for watching this one. Have a good day.